Sometimes the discoveries made by archaeologists are so amazing that we can hardly believe what we're seeing. There are moments when even the archaeologists themselves struggle to believe it. The finds seem almost too extraordinary to be real. Every find you're about to see in this video fits that description. They're amazing finds, and each one carries an incredible story to tell. Number 15. Thracian golden amphora. We know far less about ancient Thracian society than we'd like. They left behind a few written records, so most of what we understand comes from the writings of the ancient Greeks and Romans. We're left with a great deal of second-hand information, but almost no direct accounts. The civilization vanished somewhere between the 3rd and 7th centuries, though many modern Bulgarians trace their ancestry to the Thracians. That's why it's not surprising that this remarkable golden amphora and set of vials were found in Bulgaria in 2017. However, what remains unexplained is why the intricate engravings on these delicate gold items prominently feature African faces. These stunning artifacts are believed to have belonged to King Sewthes III, who reigned around 2,400 years ago. But he and his people weren't supposed to know about the African continent at that time. Yet the African-style features on these objects are clearly visible. How this cultural influence appeared on them remains completely unexplained. Number 14. Christian tattoos of Nubia. While researching a medieval monastery, archaeologists discovered a 1,300-year-old body with a Christian tattoo in a nearby burial ground located in ancient Nubia, now part of Egypt and Sudan. This rare tattoo references Jesus and includes symbols of Alpha and Omega, often used to represent him. Placed on the right foot, it may symbolize the location of a crucifixion nail, a common feature of religious tattoos during that period. The tattoo was uncovered through infrared imaging and is only the second of its kind ever found. Another mummy, also around 1,300 years old, bore a tattoo on her inner thigh, featuring a monogram for the Archangel Michael, with Greek letters along the leg. That woman's remains were found near the Nile River. Researchers believe these tattoos were likely protective, linked to spiritual beliefs. The ongoing study, led by a bioarchaeologist from Purdue University, offers a new understanding of religious practices and tattooing techniques in early Christian communities across Northeast Africa. Number 13. Egyptian blue of Nero. At Nero's Grand Palace in Rome, archaeologists made an unusual discovery that had blown their minds. They found a solid chunk of Egyptian blue pigment. While most finds involve powdery fragments, this piece weighed over 5 pounds and stood nearly 6 inches tall. Egyptian blue was rare, expensive, and difficult to produce, and was often used in small quantities for art and decoration. Alongside it were yellow ochre, red earth, and realgar, all carefully stored in one room. This area, researchers believe, served as a workshop where pigments were processed and artworks prepared. The palace itself, housing over 100 rooms, used vibrant colors throughout its murals and decorations. Egyptian blue, originally developed in Alexandria, became so sought after that it was later produced elsewhere. The pigments discovered here give valuable context to how Roman artists worked and how much labor went into decorating imperial spaces. This specific room shows how materials were mixed, stored, and applied, offering insight into artistic practices inside one of Rome's most iconic imperial structures. Number 12. Lead-wrapped coin, hoard. An archaeologist in England uncovered a stash of coins enclosed in a sheet of lead, dated to the 11th century, featuring currency minted between 1036 and 1044. The hoard contains 320 coins. Nearly all were pennies, with just 2 half-pennies cut into smaller segments. It's one of 3 known hoards found across England, bearing coins from the same period. Experts believe the simultaneous burial of these collections reflects anxiety over economic instability or political unrest. The careful wrapping and choice of lead imply the owner intended to protect the coins and recover them later. The site was located at a crossroads dividing two medieval communities, likely selected for quick access. Still, the exact origin of the individual who buried the hoard remains unknown. The uniform condition and consistent type of coinage provide insights into circulation and financial practices during that era. This discovery offers a rare, tangible look at how people in uncertain times safeguarded their wealth in medieval England. Number 11. Ancient copper crown in Dead Sea Cave. When someone mentions a king or queen, most people picture the British monarchy. While some countries still have royals today, monarchies are an ancient form of governance, among the oldest in history. To prove the point, here's a crown discovered in 1961 in a cave near the infamous Dead Sea. This crown is 6,000 years old. The cave, located close to the Judean desert, was filled with treasures from the Copper Age when first explored. But this crown was the standout. Unlike modern crowns adorned with gems, it's made from a thick copper band topped with carved vultures and what appear to be doorways. Its exact origin, and that of the other items found with it, remains a mystery. Some researchers believe the crown may not have been worn by a ruler at all, but instead played a role in funeral rituals for prominent individuals. While there's little evidence to prove that theory, the possibility still holds weight. Number 10. Unknown Pharaoh of Abydos. A newly uncovered necropolis in Abydos contained the burial site of a pharaoh whose identity remains unknown. The tomb, larger than most, has been dated between 1640 and 1540 BCE. Multiple chambers were found within, with a brick entrance leading to a limestone-lined burial chamber. Excavations at the site have continued for over a decade, and in 2014, another tomb was found nearby. That one was later identified as belonging to Pharaoh Woserebre Senebkai. Similarities between the two structures suggest the newly found pharaoh may have preceded him, but looters damaged the brickwork in the entry, possibly destroying the name that once marked the wall. Researchers are using photogrammetry, magnetic scanning, and remote sensing to expand the search, now covering over 100,000 square feet. Excavation is expected to continue through 2025. These discoveries offer rare insights into lesser-known rulers during Egypt's Second Intermediate Period, when fragmented dynasties ruled different parts of the country. Number 9. Ancient sewage parasite in Jerusalem. During an excavation of two ancient homes in Jerusalem, archaeologists uncovered intact toilet structures dating to the 7th century BCE. Removal of the toilets revealed sediment layers underneath that contained evidence of a parasite known to cause dysentery. The widespread presence of the parasite suggested it had become endemic in the population. Dysentery is transmitted through contaminated water or food and can cause dehydration and death. Children and the elderly are especially vulnerable to the infection, suffering painful stomach cramps, fever, and diarrhea. In crowded cities with limited clean water, especially during dry seasons, conditions made transmission worse. Tests of the sediment revealed multiple bacteria linked to these symptoms. The homes in question belonged to wealthier families, indicating even those with better resources were not protected. At the time, Jerusalem likely held 8,000 to 25,000 residents. These findings offer a rare look into public health problems in ancient cities, showing that even developed households faced the dangers of waterborne diseases. Number 8. Nile River groins. A huge archaeological survey along the Nile River found over 1,300 ancient groins, rock walls once used for early hydraulic engineering. These groins spanned sections of Egypt and Sudan and were found using a 200-year-old map paired with aerial imaging. Some remain along active parts of the river, while others now rest in deserts formed as the Nile's path shifted, and some are submerged under the Aswan High Dam Reservoir. The goal of these groins was agricultural. They captured nutrient-rich silt during seasonal flooding, which improved crop yields. Once water levels receded, the land surrounding the groins became fertile planting ground. This ancient irrigation technique helped sustain entire communities. Despite changes to the river over the past 3,000 years, many groins remain visibly intact. Their strategic placement and function highlight how much early civilizations understood about water management and farming. This network of stonework played a crucial role in supporting settlements across the Nile's expansive reach. Number 7. Ritual bone pit in England. Well, this is weird. At a quarry shaft in England, a bioarchaeologist from the University of Reading uncovered hundreds of animal bones, suggesting the site was used for ritual sacrifices, many believed to be linked with fertility rites. Among the remains, one stood out: a dog penis bone painted with red ochre, a pigment commonly used for symbolic purposes. No other bones at the site showed paint or pigment, leading experts to believe this one was deliberately decorated before being discarded. The painted bone may have played a central role in fertility ceremonies, possibly used multiple times before being placed in the pit. The site, located near Uli at the Nescott excavation area, also included a large number of domestic animal remains, mostly dogs. Some had been moved from elsewhere, while others had remained buried in place for decades. The site appears to have been active for approximately 50 years, and findings suggest a strong link between domestic life and ritualistic practices in the region. Number 6. Iron Age hoard in Britain. This massive Iron Age hoard was uncovered in Britain, and it has become the largest of its kind ever found in the region. It connects this area to mainland Europe and shows that trade and travel were already active during that period. Over 800 artifacts were recovered, many intentionally damaged or burned before being buried, possibly to prevent others from using them or as a display of wealth. The collection includes 2 massive vessels, 3 ceremonial spears, and various horse-related items like bridle parts, linchpins, and reins. Notably, 28 iron tires were found, pointing to 4-wheeled wagons rather than 2-wheeled chariots. The sheer quantity of wagon-related pieces suggests over 14 horses and shows wagons were common in the region. This is the first hard evidence of their use here. The hoard confirms that northern families had wealth and power comparable to southern elites, leading archaeologists to reassess the balance of social and political influence in Iron Age Britain. All right, now, let's move to number 5. Medieval ship. During a dig in Barcelona, archaeologists found a medieval ship buried 18 feet underground, where a fish market once operated. It remained well preserved for nearly 500 years, with over 30 wooden ribs supporting the frame. The vessel measures roughly 33 feet long and 10 feet wide, made from 7 hull planks. Though not yet dated precisely, it's believed to originate from the 15th or 16th century. Historical records confirm docks were built nearby in 1439 to support the booming fish trade, making it likely this ship was once docked there. To preserve it, the ship remains within its original sand casing, while experts use 3D photogrammetry to capture its structure. Any removed planks are coated with water-soluble wax to prevent drying. Named Cutadella 1, the ship was found near remnants of the old fish market, a raid shelter from 1838, and structures linked to the Bourbon citadel of the 18th century, adding rich layers of history to the site. Number 4. Ice Age fossils of Florida. Let's talk about paleontology. In Florida, a sinkhole beneath the Steinhatchee River revealed an amazing collection of Ice Age fossils, perfectly preserved and dated to more than 500,000 years ago. The fossil cache included giant armadillos, early horses, and a previously unidentified species of tapir. More than 500 specimens were recovered from this site. Scientists believe the sinkhole opened during the Ice Age, trapping animals that either fell in or were washed in over time. As the pit filled with sediment, it effectively sealed and preserved the remains beneath it, even as the river expanded across the area. Recreational divers first noticed bones in 2022, leading to a full-scale excavation by the Florida Museum of Natural History. Fossils from this specific period are rare, and much remains unknown. This site helps close crucial gaps in evolutionary history, especially for species that vanished without clear links to today's animals. Number 3. Mortuary Temple of Hatshepsut excavations near Deir el-Bahari revealed the mortuary temple built by Hatshepsut, located close to Luxor and tied to the famous Egyptian blue pigment. Alongside the temple, researchers found a foundation deposit, a ceremonial bundle of items buried during construction. Inside were woodworking adzes, hammers, chisels, brick molds, stones, and hieroglyphic fragments. Some tools bore inscriptions referencing the city, the god of thieves, and the sun, god Ra. Excavators also uncovered 1,500 colored stone blocks near the mortuary structure, originally used to decorate the temple walls with carved scenes, many still visible today. Hatshepsut initially ruled on behalf of her young son, but eventually declared herself pharaoh. Her reign was known for ambitious public works and major infrastructure efforts. The temple, built at the base of limestone cliffs, featured gardens and statues nearly 10 feet high. After her death, her son assumed full power and defaced many of her images and structures, though her architectural legacy still stands. Number 2. Ancient migration crossroads in Ukraine. While some communities settled permanently and mastered farming and irrigation, others remained mobile between 3,500 and 500 years ago. A major migration hub during this time was located in what is now Ukraine. It acted as a corridor for groups traveling between regions across Europe. Archaeological findings, including burial sites, artifacts, and skeletal remains, suggest that this area witnessed movement from diverse populations over multiple centuries. The items recovered represent a wide array of cultural origins, extending as far back as the Bronze Age. Researchers believe the region's location allowed it to connect distant territories, making it ideal for migration, trade, and cultural exchange. The graves and scattered relics prove that the area wasn't just passed through, it was also temporarily inhabited by many different groups. These discoveries provide valuable insight into population shifts and interactions before modern borders existed. As excavations continue, more evidence is expected to emerge, shedding light on centuries of human mobility through this region. Number 1. Money bags found in Leg during a restoration project in St. Andrew's Church in Eisleben, Germany. A remarkable discovery was made. 4 bags of coins dating back to 1640 were hidden inside a sandstone statue's leg. Believed to have been concealed during the 30 Years' War to avoid Swedish looters, the coins remained untouched for centuries. The statue was part of a grave site honoring a count and countess who inadvertently became guardians of the treasure. In total, more than 800 coins were recovered, including ducats, silver pieces, hundreds of pennies, and a rare gold angel coin. Some were wrapped in paper labeled with the church's name, while others were unmarked. Because the hiding place was so effective, the coins survived undisturbed through decades of upheaval and even frequent raids. Now classified as a hoard, the collection not only reflects the lengths people went to protect valuables, but also provides a unique glimpse into the currency, conflict, and daily life of 17th century Europe. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll see you soon in the next one.